Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the PM and the AM show. I am Pat Bernard alongside Mike Laro. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Oh, Mike.
Did somebody just put a cheeseburger in front of them?
And of course, the voice of God you're hearing is our main man, Al Stafari. What's going on,
What's
Al?
up, buddy?
Just everything.
Oh,
Everything is up right now.
Listen, you are preaching to the choir, my man. Everything is up. Well, listen, gentlemen, we had a stacked show today, but however, we got to talk about the fightings, and me, myself, this dope. I have to apologize to the Philadelphia Phillies because I thought this Braves team would come in with a little bit more mustard, a little bit more energized. I don't know if it's a sleeping giant or the Phillies just took care of business, or like Mike said, come to South Philly, it's torturous, not just by the offense, not just by the defense or the pitching, the fans. The fans play a major role into this. And you know why? Because you see that they get in people's heads. They got in Strider's head. They got in Acuna's head. They got in a lot of people's heads where to the point that they were breaking people down. And that's the major X factor in all this. It's just being in South Philly with millions screaming and the fact that the Braves couldn't perform. And I got to give
What's up, Insanio? What's up, Anthony?
And one Nick Castellanos in this series has rise to the occasion, crushing balls left and right. So, Mike, I'm going to give it right to you. First of all, you and Matty did a hell of a job. On Thursday night. So, Mike.
I appreciate the compliment, fellas, but I had a lot of help with Matt. Matt's back's probably hurting from carrying me during that post game. But listen, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I carried PM and the AM. I'm pretty sure he's sore.
Yeah,
all over.
But first things first, Patrick.
Yes,
and you look well. I know you were well rested this week, and happy belated birthday to your better half.
Yes. See, Mike, you know what I'm going to do? I talk a lot of trash. I'm going to stick this sock right in my mouth.
No, I want you to take it out because right here, take it out, because I'm still waiting for you to turn around. Mike. I'm still waiting for you to turn around and tell me, hey, Mike, you were right about the Braves and the Dodgers.
Wait, hold on, Mike. Am I going to take it?
I don't care how you take it, but you better. I told you a month ago, you had no worries between the Braves nor the Dodgers because they choke. And what happened? They won one game between the both of them.
No, they didn't.
One game.
No, they didn't.
No.
That was one game.
No. I'm
talking about the Braves did not win a game.
Well, no.
The Phillies lost a game.
The Phillies lost a game. But
difference.
Hold
on.
But if you're looking, I can't believe this knucklehead literally took the sock off of his foot.
I know, because I need
anything for life.
I thought you brought it as a prop.
I thought he brought it as a prop. He really took it off his foot.
Al, I have had worse things in my mouth. And bigger.
Oh, God, here we go.
What's up, Joey? Joey says, go Phillies, go Birds. Me and the Fuji are heading up to the MetLife Stadium. All right, Joe.
Joe, get up there, race some hell, have fun, and the Birds will be 13-0 against the Jets.
Joe might have his bird out.
Oh, God. Pat, to see the Wedding Crashers get that sock. That pain. Oh, that's great. But no, honestly, like going back to this, Foods, what's going on?
Foods is already excited.
Eagles game day, Phillies tomorrow. What could be a better time to be a Phillies sports fan?
Absolutely correct.
Fuji is right on with that. And I'm sorry, Joe and Fuji together, that's already going to be a party. I'm kind of bummed I'm missing out on that one. But getting back to this series with Atlanta.
Yeah.
What I'm going to give a nice tip of the cap to Spencer Strider. I know people don't want to, it's the Braves and we don't like them. I'm going to take, because that dude fought his tail off. Think about this for a second, Pat. He pitched 2 games and gave up 5 runs. 5 runs. That's 2.5 runs a game. And the dude had 15 strikeouts between the 2 games. That dude balled. He balled his ass off for the Braves. He had no help.
You're right. He was on an island by himself, dealing with this team, dealing with, again, the Phillies fans getting into his head.
You don't understand the half of it. I was there 4 hours before the game started. Just walking from the bench to the bullpen, the place was deafening with the boos. The guy got thrown out. They had to get thrown out because he was warming up in the bullpen, and he was riding him. They were relentless, and I love every last second of it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I gotta give credit to the Phillies fans. I mean, this is what this offense feasts off of, and like you just said, Al, the Phillies did not lose. The Phillies beat themselves.
So I told you the Phillies would take out the Braves. It says the Braves are the Buffalo Bills and the Boston Bruins.
Wow. And listen, and it's a shame. I agree, Mike. Dude, this seems like a prick.
The mustache kills me. Like, dude,
yeah.
So he does. He's got one of those weird faces. I'm sorry,
like a baby face with a Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah, he's got the classic. He's got the classic pizza box mustache going on. I don't know what's the deal with that.
But listen, he's a hell of a pitcher. And
listen, if we off season, Strider's coming to the Phillies.
Oh man,
everybody would be happy.
Oh, we're getting attacked too,
dude. Listen, he would probably be the most. He'd probably be the most well-liked guy. I mean, to me, honestly, again, this is what it falls down to. I think the layoff had something to do with it, but I also think too that the Braves not playing meaningful baseball in the last 2 weeks leading up to that.
Yeah,
okay, and I brought this up a week ago. Remember, Dave Yarnell's telling me I was wrong, and that this series was going to go 5. And I looked at Dave and told him, "You dude, you're nuts. They're not hitting."
I actually had the opportunity to interview Snicker at the end of the game. And you could listen. That has to be the one. It's not bad enough. You lost the series. You got your teeth kicked in at the end of the day. Then you have to go in front of the Spanish Inquisition and get asked. And a lot of the questions were asked by Braves media, but a couple of us did ask. And I said, listen, I'm not trolling. I had a song with it. I'm not trolling, but I'm asking this question. Something has to be said that some people are. We've heard some players complain to the media, leaking things out was, causing fire between the teams. And I said, we all know that's kind of not the problem. But some guys and you got the two top guys who had a bye week, both got knocked out. You guys won 1 game. The other team won 0 games. Is there anything to be said about having this time off as a down because of rhythm? So I said, because of rhythm. And, I'll give him. I mean, it's a very corporate line, but he said no. He goes, Houston did it, no problem. They didn't get out of sync. He goes, it's just we weren't prepared for whatever reason it was. We weren't ready. And he goes, if I knew the answer to why we weren't, we would have been ready. Right. Good answer.
And like I said, the only game that the Phillies lost, like you just said, they beat themselves. Just by unfortunately it was mismanagement. But however, after that, this team just put their foot on that throat and they just ran over this Braves team with no problem. I mean, usually, like Alex, like Mike, you said the other night, the only people that really showed up in the Braves offense was Austin Riley and Murphy, and that was it.
And the only reason why I even said Murphy was because Murphy had a couple hits in that game too, and he had a couple hits in Game 4. But Austin Riley too.
We're going to get into this, Brad. We're going to talk about this matchup coming up soon. Stay tuned, buddy.
Yeah. The way I'm looking at it is this, and for the National League, a lot of people felt and think that the winner of that Phillies Braves series is going to be the representative for the National League in the World Series. I don't think much has changed. I mean, the Phillies like being this underdog type team, but what I'm saying is, how are they going to react when everybody's expecting them to win now?
Right.
You know what I mean? And but I like the way that they're focused. Like, you can tell that this Phillies team has been there before. They weren't rattled. They weren't worried about that they had to go play the Braves. It was like, okay, we got to go play the Braves. Let's go.
And you know what? Like, I'm not trying to look down in a future glass here, but I do feel like there's going to be a potential World Series rematch. I mean, we got the Battle of Texas going on over there in the AL, and of course, like you said, now, Mike, even though we got that top wild card spot, there is a team that that extra wild card spot helps these teams out because those Diamondbacks are dangerous. But like I said, I'm going to save my comments for them a little bit later. But I just want to get back into this this series and you have to be disappointed, not just as a Braves fan, but like in that Braves management. I mean, you are regular season champions now for 2 years straight. and you pooped the bed. You pooped.
There's our boy Frank Finnegan.
What's up,
checking in.
Frankie? It's pitching.
I don't know what
man.
Frank's trying to say here. I'm going to try to read in between the lines here, but he said it's pitching, and did I mention pitching?
I think he said something about pitching.
Come on, stop holding back, Frank. Tell us what you mean.
Yeah, really.
So I know, and I want to agree with Frank because the pitching has been serviceable. And I've said that if the pitching is serviceable, this team is nasty. And you've been getting, and then the other night, right? I made a Facebook post saying, hey, look, what Noah we're going to get? We're going to get Mr. Softy or Mr. Freeze. And he was Mr. Freeze. He was tuning guys down. And that first one, Al, you and I talked on the phone. He that first inning, he got a little out of hand. After he got into his zone, man, that's it. That's all he wrote. That was all he wrote. And then he started just lacing dudes out with his fastballs.
And I think,
he retired to what? The first 6, right?
Yeah.
He retired the first 6 to start.
It wasn't a pretty first 6, but for the most part, he was after that. And let's be honest, Nick Castellanos, you got to give him player of the series, right? Like MVP of the series.
Him and Trey Turner.
Yeah, I guess you could make an argument for either one.
As much as everybody jumped on about Harper taking over Game 3, like it was really Turner and Castellanos.
And Remuto's been silently successful. So I want to here goes Mr. My man Dives. He says, got to give a huge shout out to the Phillies bullpen, which has been electric in the playoffs, coming up big and big time, huge moments. Yeah, and that's been another thing that's been serviceable, bailing you out of trouble. Guys like Matt Strom, who I bit my nails about, coming off the bench, and he's been serviceable. Alvarado, Sir Anthony. You go down the line; these guys are doing their job. They are getting you out of trouble.
Sir Anthony looks like he's back to form.
And that's the thing is
getting hot at the right time.
Give Tomper some love in the sense because a lot of us were like, oh, some of these guys aren't going to be ready. He knew that these guys would rise to the occasion. I mean, even Alvarado was a little, he wasn't as crisp as he normally was towards the end of the season. He got a little better. Nola had a couple good starts. They made some adjustments to his mechanics and his grip and all that stuff. And I don't know. Sometimes I think they just do some small things just to, it's like mentally.
Right.
He'll be better now.
His last two starts of the regular season, he had 16 Ks. I mean, he's been playing lights out. I mean, he's looked phenomenal. And like I said,
good old Frank.
Thanks, Frank. And the pitching has been great. And again, I've had friends who chimed in with me. Said, look, if we get a healthy Reese Hoskins, would you somewhere put him as a DH? And I said, no, what's not fit. If it's not broken, don't you don't have to worry about it.
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, honestly, I would. Really? And I would. And hey, what's up, Frank? Again, I would. And the reason being is because maybe you might have to sit Schwarber for a game or two. If you're going to sit Schwarber for a game or two, not to say that, Schwarber can't come in and help you out later on in those games, but just to sit him, just to get his head right because he's batting really bad and he's not having a really good series against. He didn't have a real good series against him.
I listened to you again. You, Matt, did a great job, and Matt did bring a good point because Matt's the first guy who points out about Kyle Schwarber's deficiencies, and the guy has been playing horrible. But when these guys get cold in the coldest moments. I guarantee you, somewhere in the NLCS, this guy's going to come on.
He'll make you forget.
He'll make you forget.
I mean, that's why I get what Matt says, and I'm not disagreeing. I think that's the thing is me and him go back and forth about this all the time in person, on the phone, or on a show. And I'm like, Matt knows baseball as much as anybody else knows, and how this can be a streaky game. And Kyle Schwarber is a very streaky guy, and guys like that.
It only takes one. It only takes one with him.
Yeah.
Once he gets one, then he goes on a tear. So, but I mean, again, Reese is the same way. But I definitely, I don't know if they aren't going to use Reese, but I can almost tell you right now, he's going to be on. If they make the World Series, he will be on that World Series roster. A guy like Jake Cave will go pound sand somewhere. They'll send Jake down to Florida. I mean, just be ready for that. Like Reese is going to be on that roster if he is cleared to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, then again, if Reese is clear to play, I don't know if I'm with Matt though on this island. I don't know if I want him either because he does take a while to get his mechanics right and batting. And right now, going against this
Listen,
this Diamondbacks team.
well, no, he's not going to be available for this series. Reese would only be available for the World Series. So, and I would feel comfortable with that because the only reason why I would say that I am, he said, Brahm has been on fire all year.
But
Bohm had a pretty nasty series too, batting in that 4 spot. He needs to be dropped down to 6.
Well, he had on-off games. If you looked at it, he would be 2 for 4 one night, and then the other night would be 0 for 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but like the 2 games against Strider, like he couldn't hit.
Oh, listen again. Strider's a good Strider is a good pitcher. He's just one of those guys that when he makes mistakes, you got to take advantage of it, and that's what the Phillies did right. If I was on that post game with you, and then I know I was supposed to be part of it.
You were supposed to. We waited all night.
I know. You're still waiting. Matty B's still at the waiting room.
Matty B's still. He's probably still in the stream yard over there. He's in
the green room, still waiting for me. And I apologize. The way the celebration went.
We already know what happened. You, Garrett Stubbs, you were all dancing on your own.
Oh yeah.
Garrett,
I wonder if Al's clothes were off.
Probably.
I was in my overalls.
With a poncho.
Put it this way: I had to soak my shoes I was wearing overnight.
Now, did you have to wear a poncho doing all that?
There was about 2 inches of beer and wine on
yeah, I saw that. I saw them jumping around in there.
Yeah,
I was like
kicking splat. Like,
who the hell? Yo, I would not want to be one of the guys that have to go in there and clean that up.
No, right?
I'm saying I have a feeling that we'll be drinking beers at the Phillies championship in a few weeks, and we'll look back at that Acuna versus Kimbrel sequence in Game 4. What a sequence! Yeah. And that was a hell of a catch by the kid too, because. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I'm with Frankie.
Don't mess with the lineup. We'll have to wait and see on that one. What I'm saying to you is that kid, he got a late jump on that ball. And for him to track it down the way he did.
Oh, my God. Oh, you mean
dude, when he hit it, I was sitting right where Al is, and I'm watching it because I'm getting ready to do the post game, and I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, that's going to score. And then as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to catch this.
Are you talking about the Rojas?
The Rojas catch.
Yeah.
I was like,
So someone posted on social media, like they were sitting right there.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere in that video.
That's
like you seen the ball coming. All you see is the ball coming, and he just came out of nowhere.
You were talking about a uplifting to the lineup. That kid, like I said, we look at him as his batting might not be there, but if he gets on base, his ability to steal plays because of his quickness, he's got length. He can make plays in the outfield. He can extend plays. He can, obviously he can. Doesn't matter where the ball comes at in the field, he'll go catch it. So he's been a really, really solid piece for the Fighting Phils. I love having him in there. Again, if he get his bats down, he'll be a 5-tool player without a doubt.
No, well, listen, with him being as good as he is, kind of count. To me, it looks like maybe Marsh's days might be numbered. Because you got to remember too, I
don't know if Marsh's days will be numbered anytime soon.
Not soon, but
when it comes to contracts and all that stuff, that could be the difference.
But right now, I mean, it's good to rotate those guys. And again, like you said, if they do, like Dive said, if they go on to hopefully and prayerfully they go on and win the World Series. You have to look at contracts and, all those things come up again. But, I mean, right now I'm enjoying the moment of these two guys rotating that center field position or in the right field, whatever the case may be. This offense and defense and all over. And like I said, the fans do play a major role in this. The fact that they could get into the players' heads and make it.
What was the guy's name? Arcia. Did you see the clip?
Yeah.
You see the clip of him yelling at the fans late in the game?
And making faces? Arcia, yeah.
He said, he was just joking. But if you look at his face when he first starts yelling, he was like, shut up. I mean, like, he was mad. That dude was mad because they were giving it to him.
Yeah, I mean, they were. I mean, he knew, again, trying to get in Spencer Strider's head and doing the chop block, all that. I mean, it gets...
dude, listen. All of a sudden, you want Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, stand up. So let me see it.
Yeah, this right here, guys, is a beautiful thing. This is my Dunkin' Donuts with all the
Halloween
special with Freddie, Jason. They're all drinking Dunkin'.
That's awesome. And by the way, Dunkin', you owe us money.
Yeah, yes.
But real quick, guys, speaking of spending hard-earned money, normally I'd be telling you about Philly Sports Trips, which I'm not going to tell you about because we love Philly Sports Trips and they're our official sports trip provider and all that. But leave it to Philly Sports Trips not to leave out an Arizona trip, baby. That's right. They launched this. Get on this. You can go to Arizona to watch the Philly. Look at the numbers. It ain't bad at all. You can do this. Go to phillysportstrips.com. Sign up right now. Go watch your fighting Phillies take on the Diamondbacks in Arizona. It's October. It's going to be beautiful out there, first of all. And it's a Phillies NLCS game in Arizona. Don't tell me it's not going to be wild. I mean, we've taken over Arizona before, not too long ago. Philly Sports Trips was all about it. They made it awesome. Go to phillysportstrips.com, and right now they are in North Jersey to watch the New York team play the Philadelphia Eagles. So, because the Jets game, so they have multiple bus trips up there. I'll try to see if I can throw a picture up there at one point of it. But phillysportstrips.com, check it out.
All right. Now, listen, we've just broke about the reaction to the Phillies and Braves. Now to look ahead till Tuesday. And first of all,
Monday. It's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow or is it Tuesday? I thought
tomorrow.
it was Tuesday. All right. Well, listen.
Monday, Tuesday.
I'm sorry to know because I was looking at Tuesday's schedule, and Tuesday is going to be packed. But anyway, come Monday night, it is going to be game one of the Phillies and Diamondbacks. Now, Mike, you talked about the hunger, and the Phillies now are going to be the hunted because this Diamondbacks team, I look at this two ways. This Diamondbacks team shows no fear of home and field advantage. They've gone into Milwaukee. They've gone into L.A., thumping those two, breaking their doors down, have 14 combined home runs. They're hitting the cover off the ball. However, the flip side, they haven't faced a
lineup that can punch them back.
Not just that. They haven't seen a crowd like Philadelphia before. A real fan base.
No.
That's got nothing but hungry zombies.
I will say this.
In their ear.
They saw kind of a Philly light in their first series with Milwaukee.
Right.
Milwaukee packs them in out there. But as far as what they're about to walk into Monday night, no. They haven't seen that. And two, they haven't seen a team like this Phillies team. I'm sorry, but the Dodgers,
no,
they don't have the offensive. The Dodgers were basically based off of basically Betts and Freeman.
Right, Kershaw looks like a fraud out there, but also Hamilton.
Kershaw looks bad. He looks so bad.
He does. He goes, I'm totally fine with Marsh playing the left field instead of Schwarber.
Well, I'm not talking about Schwarber playing left field. I was just talking about down the line. But
yeah, that's going to be a conversation down the road. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be a tough outing. Again, you want to talk about a team that's getting hot at the right time. Again, just prior to this, I think they played the Dodgers heading into their last regular season outing was against the Dodgers, and they looked horrible. But no, they turned up, clinching down that last postseason spot, getting that last wild card spot, and they're paying it off. And they are looking at the Phillies to be the hunted right now, and they're the hunters. And the Phillies they're looking at this way, going, we have one more team to get through, one more roadblock to get through to get to where we want to be. And is fighting for the.
Well, it all starts with them. They got to get to Zach Gallen Monday night. And Zach Wheeler has not particularly pitched well against the Diamondbacks historically. So they do have that in their favor. But the Phillies have also kind of hit around Zach Gallen too. So it's kind of like both of the Zachs have had kind of issues with the other one. I still feel the Phillies got the better lineup. I'm not taking nothing away from the kid Marte, the second baseman. He's a stud out there. What's his name? Christian Watson.
Yeah, you got Christian Walker.
Christian Walker's he's a stud as well. But they're really kind of the two that you got to worry about in that lineup. It's kind of like dealing with when we played St. Louis a year ago with Goldschmidt and Arenado. That's kind of how Marte and Walker are. That's kind of how you have to worry about that. But that bullpen of Arizona is really good.
Yeah,
so I mean it's going
to be down to which team is hot and which team can't stay hot. You know what I mean? They're both hot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean Arizona hasn't lost a game, and the Phillies have only lost one. So I mean, something's going to give.
It's something. Like I said, I'm looking at the two way. Like I said, the Milwaukee's not afraid of going to people's homes and breaking doors down. But however, I feel like this is going to be like Bronx Tale, where they're the bikers. They're going around beating up in people's bars and stuff, but they're going to enter the wrong bar come Monday night because this fan base is going to be thriving. They're going
to lock the door. And
oh yeah, they're going to lock the door.
Yeah, Bryce is going to lock and go. No, you can't leave.
No, you can't leave.
So Anthony's saying Marsh might take a pay cut if the Phillies. Well, first part, Marsh is pretty much making the league minimum, and
he's not going to get any lower. I'm looking
at his contract now. He's pre-ARB next year, and then ARB 1 the following year. I'm not going to sit there and tell you I know everything about arbitration and all that, but pretty much he'll be making like around $700,000, maybe up to $1 million. So they got him for about 2025 in that world. It's not like football. If he wants, if he wanted to hold out, he could, and that'd be him his worst. Yeah,
he's got to put in 6 years or something, right?
Yeah. Mike wants to know. Speaking of money, let's say the Phillies do win the World Series with Harper and Turner. They don't restructure contracts in baseball. That doesn't work that way. This isn't football or something where they restructure contracts to open more, money and all that stuff. They're not going to take less money in any sense. But what they'll do is, again, let's do this. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to see if I can find. Let's say Stott, Bryson Stott. Let's see what his contract looks like.
He's on a rookie deal.
He's on pre-ARB. Yeah, I mean they under him. He's on there for a while. That's why they have the contracts to shorten the pre-ARB for them. But he's on there for a while. I mean he's making $734,000, so they're about the league minimum. And they got him under that. So they a lot of the core factors of this team is going to be
still with them.
Right, and it's going to be.
They can take like a Kingery type situation. If they did with Scott Kingery, like they kind of did it early. And said, all right, well, but they didn't win a World Series in that fashion with him. So they can say, listen, let's do a contract now, but it's so it's more favorable.
Well, that's what, like I said, and that's why I named today the episode "Not Looking Over Your Opponent" because I don't think we can overlook this Phillies team. I mean, this Diamondbacks team because we know what they've been doing as of late, and kudos to them. They like Mike said, they have yet to get a taste of loss yet. So I wonder if this is going to be too big of a moment for them, and that's all we can hope for. They're going to be locked in there with the Phillies down in South Philly. The crowd's going to be rowdy. They're going to be trying to get in their heads. They know what kind of atmosphere they're going to be into. Of course, their pitching staff has to look over.
Their bullpen ain't that short. Did you watch the series against the Dodgers? Their bullpen shut them down.
And I'm not sitting there saying that they stepped up, and that's what these teams. That's what you hope. Like just like Sir Anthony stepped up, guys step up. Here's my thing is, one thing we have not seen is two teams in the NL, two teams that are hot fight each other. This will be the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, when we played the Marlins weren't hot. They were very cocky, but they got shut down fast. When we played the Braves couldn't get hot. They played the Dodgers couldn't get hot. They played the Brewers couldn't get hot.
No.
This will be the clash of the Titans. And that's if they all can. That's what I'm saying. If any team lets their foot off the gas, that team will lose.
That's one hiccup. That's it.
Like for me, I'm going to be honest with you. For this series to go either 6 or 7, Arizona's got to win one here. Like one of the first two. That's my only thing for me. Frank says they don't have 3 or 4 starters. This will kill their bullpen. Maybe.
But to counterpunch that, Frank, we got hope though.
We only got 2 starters,
right? we
got Nola and Wheeler. That's it.
We got serviceable, bullpen arms, but who knows, man? You're dealing with a dangerous, red hot Diamondbacks offense, red hot. So again, this is going to be a tough challenge, and like Al just said, these are 2 of the hottest teams right now in the NL. So Al, how do you look at this Diamondbacks team coming into South Philly? Are you intimidated at all?
I'm not intimidated by anybody at this point, but I'm also not looking past anybody.
You're right.
This is postseason baseball, postseason anything. Everything gets cranked up. Like everybody's cranked up. I always refer to the term, and like when I coach football, controlled aggression. You want to have the emotion, you want to have the angst, you want to have the aggression, but it has to be in control. You don't want to, you can see pitchers who try to just like hurl a ball like they're trying to hurl a boulder, and batters who swing a bat like they're trying to chop down a tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this comes in. So if you want to look at a checkbox, what favors what side more, experience for teams. When was the last time the D-backs were in the postseason?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So but some guys, older guys on there, might have some postseason, but
they have a guy. They have.
And it hasn't gotten ahead of them either, too.
I saw the playoff comparison. I think they have guys on there. They have a couple guys, maybe like 3 guys, but it equals like 5 games. So, Corbin Carroll. Yeah.
Corbin Carroll's their guy.
He's one of their guys.
Potential Rookie of the Year candidate. Yeah, you got to look out for them. Again, these guys got some pop in that lineup, and
I just feel like the Phillies are better across the board. So
that's my thing. Is like there's the experience factor plays in the favor of the Phillies. You're starting in Philadelphia, so you could easily get these guys. Not easily, but you could possibly going back in Arizona down 1 or 2 games, which they haven't been down yet. This team hasn't lost yet.
Right.
It's all about how do you bounce back
with the momentum.
If you lose something, we swept the Marlins. They swept the Brewers. They also swept the Dodgers. So they haven't had the adversity yet. So if they lose in South Philly somewhere, can they bounce back? There's another key factor here. I don't want to sound like a homer, but coming to Phillies, it's not easy.
No.
Playing in LA.
And
playing in Arizona.
This is where my eyes opened up last week. Like you and Mike were fine, heading into this Bryce years, and I was looking at because they were regular season champions for the past 2 years, and
dude, they were regular season champions for like 20 years.
But I just looked at it like, oh well, the Phillies got a bunch of question marks as far as arms, and it was nothing. I mean, the Phillies again turned it up on every side of the baseball. They turned it up offensively.
You still haven't said I was right, by the way.
I said you were right. Did you see me chewing my sock? You be chewing something else?
Yeah, you need to chew on something else because
bend over. I'll suck it out.
No, that's all right. Jesus God Almighty.
So what Brad said here, Noel will be a free agent at the end of the season. Should the Phillies restructure his contract? Noel's contract. Well, it's not a restructure.
It's a little too late for that.
Yeah, Brad. They were trying to do that preseason. They put it on hold. Nola rolled the dice on himself, and in the regular season, it looked like it was a bad idea. Now, if he continues to have the postseason and they win a World Series, especially,
he's getting paid.
He's getting paid. Now,
it won't be from the Phillies, but he'll be getting paid.
I made a comment to somebody I was talking to on Thursday night. We were talking about Nola pregame, and I said, if this continues to happen, I'm afraid. Now, if it's about the money for Nola, and that's what the thing is, he's 30, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to want to get paid. That's what it's going to be. So I think he's going to go where the money's at for the most part, unless it's a small discrepancy between the Phillies, maybe, and another team. I would not be surprised. A certain team in our division,
the Mets,
who are now devoid of pitching. They have a decent lineup with their players that they still have on contract, but they're devoid of pitching. You think a guy throws money?
It was already leaked. 3 teams that were interested in Nola.
Yeah,
that are going to make a push for him. One was the Mets, one was the Cardinals, the other one was the Yankees.
Yeah, with the leaks, you got 2 New York teams who spend money like it's nothing, and neither one of them made the postseason this year. You had no New York team in the postseason of baseball. Does not sit right with that city. And like I said, you have 2 organizations willing to throw money around. If I'm Cohen, I really want to. I'm going to go buy him. I'm going to spend a lot of money to get him anyway, and I get to put the screws to my divisional rivals by bringing in their guy. So it really depends. They're not going to be able to get – if Nola continues to pitch this way, unless he falls apart, which doesn't play in our favor.
Right? No.
We want to win a World Series now. What happens next year is what happens next year. But there's no restructuring. This contract's done.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm curious because like part of me don't want to lose him right now because he's getting hot at the right time. He is getting red hot at the right time right now. And again, this is where you're proving. Do you let him walk? Do you let him walk right now? I mean, being an arm that you can rely on. I mean, I don't know. I don't. And like,
dude, you guys are worried about stuff. Let's worry about
what's in front of us.
What's in front of us? If he walks, man. Like Aaron Nola's not the only pitcher that's going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the top pitchers that are out there. There's other free agents. So I'll worry about the free agency then. I'm not worried about that now. Where I'm worried about now is watching this Phillies team wax these Diamondbacks. And I think they can. Like, to me, it all goes really off of tomorrow night. If the Phillies go out there and wax them tomorrow night, this could be over in as early as 5.
You think it?
It could be. I said if they wax them, because like Al said, if they go back to Arizona down 2-0, it's a wrap, dude. It's a wrap because I can see the Phillies taking 2 or 3 from out there.
Right. So what would be your final prediction?
My final prediction, I'm going to be a little safe. I think the Phillies win it, but I think they win it in 6. I do think the Diamondbacks are good enough to win 2 games in this series. Frank Finnegan saying Ranger top liver. No, but Ranger hasn't looked like the Ranger of a year ago either. He faced
twice. He was injured twice.
Yeah, but I mean, he also he was facing a Braves team that was lackluster. He's not going to be facing a lackluster Diamondbacks team. This team is on fire. They know how to hit. So I mean, I'll have to wait and see. If he shuts them down, then the Phillies are looking good.
No, we're in business,
right?
But like you said, one little hiccup. That's it. So Al, what's your final prediction?
Pain
for the whole for the whole series or just game 1?
Oh, the whole thing. The whole series.
5 or 6. It's really hard for me to tell.
Good point, Joey.
It really would be up to how the first 2 games go and see how do the Diamondbacks continue to rise to the occasion? Do the Phillies continue to rise to the occasion? The optimism in me is going to go with 5, but I could definitely see the series going 6.
All right. My thing is, real fast, Joe says 2 stars. Ranger just went head-to-head with Strider and came out on top. Yeah.
No, he was just the opposite pitcher of Strider. He didn't go head-to-head with Strider because if you look at it, Ranger gave up 1 run.
Wow. Does someone need to get a dog? I don't know if that's I'm going to say this is going to go 7. I think the Phils come on top.
Mike, a 7-game series is different animal than a 5-game. Yeah, Frank, I understand that. But if the Phillies take the first 2 here, yeah, you're pretty much you're pretty much on you're halfway to 4 with 5 games remaining. So
it's all about the pressure. I mean, if you put a ton of pressure on yourself as a team, and if you're down 2-0, going home, you do have some momentum, but you lose a lot of it too.
Well, one thing I've seen with this Arizona team, where I feel the Phillies can really, really, they like to run, but I don't. They're not going to run against JT. JT's not going to allow that. So when you take that part of their game out of it, because their run kind of like what happened with the Phillies. The Phillies started running, and it was getting.
Right, the best.
Right,
the aggressive base running.
The aggressive, right? They're not going. They can't afford to be aggressive running against the Phillies because the Phillies got the best backstop in Major League Baseball.
Right, that's like you said, Mike. He's got that. So arm.
I think that's going to take away an element of their game, and if that does, again, like I said, they're too deep with starters. Just like the Phillies, and I'm not cursing Ranger. He did perform well, but to sit there and say, "Oh well, he went head to head," he can go head to head with Strider. Dude, Strider gave up what 4 runs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, he gave up 5 runs and struck out 15. He struck out 15 guys, okay, in 13 innings. He gave up 5 runs. I mean,
I'm not looking past him at all. And you'd be silly not to. You'd be silly to do anything.
Yeah, we can't.
Like we said, it'd be silly to look even past the Diamondbacks. It's hard not to look a little forward, to be excited. This team's exciting. And because this team's exciting, the tickets are hard to come by. Really, they really are. And you need good prices because you're not going to be able to walk up to a stadium like you can do in Atlanta and buy tickets the day of the game.
For $100.
Yeah, exactly. So go to Sherry'sTickets.com, family owned and operated since 1946. That is your home for postseason baseball tickets. I don't care if you go to Arizona and get them, if you come here and watch them, you go to Sherry'sTickets.com. The price you see on the screen is the price you'll pay. You're not going to get a $240 checkout fee like you get it somewhere else. The price you see on the screen is the price you pay, and you save an additional 10% off using that great promo code.
EOP10.
That's right, EOP10. Sherry'sTickets.com. Family owned operates since 1946. No hidden fees. 10% off with EOP10. And it's not just for sports, concerts, theaters, you name it. Wherever you're at in the country listening to the show, check it out. Sherry'sTickets.com.
There you go. Well, listen, guys, we love to talk some more Phillies baseball with you, but we're gonna.
Hold on, I don't want to cut you off just yet. I don't want to cut you off yet.
Just here.
I want to give a couple guys who chimed in a little bit because we got guys. Keep them coming. By the way, we got bombarded with comments during that comment alone. So real quick,
lay on me.
The Phillies need to figure out how to shut down Arizona's pitchers and get in Arizona's bullpen game 1 and 2. I think that goes with anybody for the most part. Like that should be a decent game plan for even they're not their number 1 guy, number 2, number 3 guy, because it's not just because game 1 and game 2 you're going to start taxing. They're not going to have the time off that they normally get now, because you're going to get 2 games in a row, a day off, 2 games in a row,
3 games in a row. It's 2-3-2.
Wait.
It's 2-3-2.
That's right. You're right. So yeah, they were.
So it's 2 games here, 3 out there, 2 back here.
Yeah,
with off just 1 off day in between.
Yeah, I hope they broke the curse earlier this year with the whole Phillies in Arizona.
Yeah.
So let's hope that continues.
Now, so they have it listed. Zach Allen's going to be the starting pitcher for Monday. We have yet to put ours on. So do you think Wheeler's? Obviously, I think Wheeler's going to get the nod.
I think so.
I think so.
I think so too. I think it's going to be Zach versus Zach. Well, you figure what? Wheeler pitch what? Wednesday here?
Yeah, I think Wheeler should go.
Yeah. It's
Monday?
No, they haven't listed nobody yet.
Okay, let me just check and make sure they updated that or not. Right now.
Mr. Dives checking in. He goes, if Schwarber gets the going, then the Diamondbacks don't have a
Phillies
chance.
still have DVD.
Yeah, I agree, Dives. I don't. If Schwarber can get hot, come right off the bat. Maybe he hits
maybe it's Michael Lorenzen gets game 1 start.
But I'm just kidding. I wonder if they go Nola first, knowing Nola's proclivities for when things are too short or too long, he kind of gets off his beaten path a little bit, and why not? If you can win a game with Nola there, and you got Wheeler going game 2, it could be kind of a chess match here. So that could be why they're waiting on the choice of who's next. Both teams Arizona played were missing arrows in their quiver offensively and defensively. It's a good point. What I was talking about earlier. We had more competition in the Braves than they probably had against the Dodgers. The Dodgers were
no, they were bad.
They were bad. They were just bad.
Like they were ones that had their stats.
Fraud alert. With Ohtani off the market, Nola is the number 1 pitcher, number 1 free agent. He's going to get paid.
Is Ohtani off the market totally? I know he might not be able to pitch again, but he's not off the market, right?
He's off the pitching market.
Yeah, okay.
That's what he means.
Unless Minter goes berserk, I could be Phillies in 5. Exactly. This is it. Like, can they continue just as much as the Phillies can? It goes both ways. And Dive said too, if Schwarber goes off, the Diamondbacks don't stand a chance. That's the other thing. If Nick Castellanos continues, Harper continues, and Stock continues,
and Trey Turner.
Trey. I can stop. Trey. If one of those guys just step up, and Schwarber definitely.
So, and again,
it's hard to beat anybody,
right? So, and again, look, Schwarber was ice cold, right, with no long ball hits. However, Turner, Castellanos, JT, Harper, Stott. Those guys were hitting the long ball with no problem.
And JT hits well out there for some odd reason.
He hits well. Center. And he hits away versus home.
But I'm just saying, like, especially Arizona, like he's got almost like a 320 career batting average there or something like that. Something really crazy. So,
and this is something
exercise the demons.
This is how I feel too, Frank, because I feel it's kind of underrated. Our team has speed.
Yes,
greasy, fast speed. Like outside of Kyle Schwarber, which is our leadoff guy, which is still the funniest part, it's the slowest guy.
Right.
On that, like, there's not a guy who can't go from first to third or first to home on a well-placed single on this team except for Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber's our linebacker, dude.
It's just funny that he's our leadoff guy. You can't not laugh at it.
You got Stott, Harper, Rojas. Who else on it? Baum can make it around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Turner, Casty. Those guys can run.
Yeah, Joey's saying Carroll and the young D-backs are playing great, but Philly noise is different. And it is different.
It is.
Milwaukee was all, don't you know, from all out, and the crowd. And then the Dodgers were worried about fans were worried about selfies with the guy from Hollywood who's never watched a Dodgers game in his life.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're
like I experienced that firsthand. Mm-hmm. Being out there, it's craziest thing.
This is going to be a much different. listen, if I'm the if I'm anybody coming into Philly it's no secret now. After last season, that's all they've been talking
It's
about.
Sadio. Pick one. I'm going against the grain. Diamondbacks in 6 or Phillies in 6. Well, you really walked out on the ledge that one there, Chatterhead.
Somebody in 6.
Somebody in 6.
You just know that it's ending in 6. That's
either way, it's ending in 6.
The kill.
But my point is, if I'm the Diamondbacks right now, I'm getting them in the stadium. I'm going to go record clips of the audio from Phillies fans that I have, and then I'm pumping it through the stadiums.
They did that. They did that during their workout the other day.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They try to anticipate the noise level.
So,
Sean got a good question here.
He goes, "What's up, guys? Advancing to the NLCS means that the Phillies will now need a fourth starter, and Taijuan Walker and Christopher Sanchez are set to throw simulated games on Sunday. Do they ramp up their arms to possibly assignments?"
Yes. The answer to that is absolutely yes. It has to be. Like Mike said, it's and maybe it's kind of a platoon situation with those two. See how one goes, and if one starts to falter,
the other one comes in.
I think Walker starts, and then
you get Sanchez coming in.
I would like to see the other way around, believe it or not.
Well, I mean, Sanchez has given people a reason to talk. I think go with Walker because he has the.
Listen, Walker's had some time off. So has Sanchez. They've both had some time off. Right. So and it might do them good. It might do them good because if we get the Walker that we had in the beginning of the season, the guy who busted out real quick to 15 wins.
And like Mike said, you're only getting 1 day off out of 6 days. You have 5 games, right? They don't take off between games 4 and 5, right?
No, it's the way I don't. We have to take a look at it, but usually it's the first 2, a day off, 3, and then a day off, and then the last 2.
Correct.
That's usually how they run.
Monday, Tuesday, then it's
off Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then the game 6 will be back here
Monday.
On Monday. Yeah, okay.
So that's how it is. It's all.
So, you have to have that fourth starter because let's play devil's advocate. Say it is Wheeler who starts. That's 1, 2, 3.
He would be the starter in game 4 or game 5.
Game 5.
He would be game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever starts game 2 would be game 6. And then whoever starts game 3 would be the starter in game 7.
Made a decision yet. They're going to throw some simulated bullpen, see who's looking good. Simulated.
Listen, if Christopher Sanchez is looking good, you throw him out there. Throw him out there for game 1. All right? Maybe you have a high score, whatever. Then you have Wheeler Nola. This way, when he comes back around, if you do go 7 games, you got Aaron Nola starting game 7.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe they do that. Maybe that's why they didn't commit to just starting Zach Wheeler right away. I don't blame them for that. I don't. Because you got to line your ducks up in a row. Now you're getting Wheeler and Nola literally 4 games in this series.
Correct.
Think about that. Wheeler and Nola for 4 games in this series. That's going to be tough, man.
It's going to be tough for that.
And I'm not, like I said, once you get past Zach Gallen and the other guy they have out there, his name's not coming to me right now, but their other starting pitcher that they're going to have for game 2. Once you get by them, they're very, very hittable and beatable. If you get through
and that's that's where I do agree with Frank. I mean, you get to their bullpen first, then you can start taking care of business. We just got to hold up our side of the bargain. The Snakes don't have the Striders.
The D-backs.
The D-backs don't have a Strider. Yeah, they don't have a Strider, but again,
no, they don't. But they got Zach Gallen, who's also an all-star. We got to pump our brakes a little bit. I understand the Phillies got, we got by Atlanta, and I know everybody's pumped up, but Jesus God, this team, this Arizona team hasn't lost yet.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And they knocked around some pretty damn good pitching. I understand. You got to put your homer badge away, man. You got to look at this thing objectively.
Did you say your homer or your
homer badge? They don't have Strider, so we're going to win. But they got Zach Gallen, who was also an all-star this year, and I believe he's got damn near close to 20 wins himself.
Actually, I think Pat's Boy Scouts, he got the homer badge.
Yeah, I said a homer badge.
I said that's why Pat was about to show out his badge he got from Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah, he got the Hummer badge.
The Hummer badge.
What's that?
Yeah, but we got to pump our brakes on that. The dudes.
Listen, it's hard. It really is hard. This team, listen,
I'm excited too, but I mean, you got to look at this.
This team is cooking in all cylinders, right?
And
it's hard not to, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
And I won't agree here with Steve. If Bruce Bucci was managing the Diamondbacks, I would be more concerned if we don't lose. But no, listen, Bruce Bucci is going to be himself in a war out there.
Dude, look at that. Listen, it's Bruce Bucci, and guess what? I'm not so sure that that's even going to be a series. I was thinking it was going to be at first, but then I remembered, like, Texas was way up in that. They were up in that division and gave that division away. And right now, they're banged up on the pitching staff. So, which, by the way, I kind of don't want them to win because if the Phillies do get by this, guess what? If it's the Astros we're facing, because of the head-to-head, we get home field advantage. Now, they got to come here for 4 games.
Right, I do want the rematch.
If it's Texas, we got to go there.
All right, so real quick, guys. Sean saying Walker Sanchez could get some action during the game, perhaps in a piggyback capacity. Sure, actually, that's absolutely. We just talked about that. And Anthony says Phillies like they did against the Braves. Phillies easy in the World Series.
Easily in the World Series.
In the World Series. But guys, real quick, because we're gonna talk Eagles, and it'll be criminal if we didn't talk Eagles.
No.
Speaking of criminal, I mean, David R. Cherry is the man. CherryInjuryLaw.com. You get hurt at work, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law. Life-altering moments, and you need the man with a plan to fight for your rights. David R. Cherry, 610-565-0300. CherryInjuryLaw.com. That number again, 610-565-0300.
Wow, we almost went an hour talking about the Phillies. Pat, we got to switch it up. We got another. We got to give some love now to the Birds.
As Frank
Mike,
said,
I always give love to the Bird.
I know. Eileen checking in today. Good luck, sweetheart, today. But you know it's going to be 0-13.
It's funny. I had this conversation with somebody the other day.
I'm glad she can miss. She's a Jets fan.
Listen, she is a diehard Jets fan. But I think the Jets, honestly, I would have taken them up until I found out their 2 cornerbacks are out. Sauce Gardner's out, and Reed is out. So
and I want to get into this with you. So the Eagles will take on the Jets today. Jets have a banged up cornerbacks. Again, like you just mentioned, DJ Reed is out. Sauce Gardner is going to be out. They got
their best lineman they had is out for the season.
Both of them. Yeah,
both tackles, right?
Both tackles are out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going to be hurting for us: no Jalen Carter today, no
Darius Slay,
and no Quez Watkins. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, so I'm going to take it that Jalen Hurts is going to have to play like he did last week. And by the way, I was really, really happy to see Jalen Hurts last week playing like his shades of himself last year. Just scrambling out of the pocket when he couldn't find no one open, just using his legs to be a secondary weapon. Now I imagine he's going to air the ball a ton today, dealing with that weak Jet secondary. But just in case he can't find no one open, he'll start running. So, Mike, should I overlook the Jets and just?
I wouldn't say overlook the Jets.
Could this possibly be a trap game? I mean, it feels too good to be.
No, I don't think it's a trap game.
Oh, and by the way, you 2 nipples owe me an apology.
Wait, are you talking about both his nipples or me?
Yeah, both yous.
Okay.
Because I told you last week, you guys said it was going to be a high-scoring game. And I said, no, it's going to be low-scoring. And I was right. So there, twist each other's nipples for all I care.
The final score was?
14. I said it was going to be a 21-17 game.
All right, so
and I was close. You guys said it was going to be
23-14, right?
24-14, yeah.
24-14, which is a 38-point game. I mean, I guess that's...
It was under 50. It was under 50, so I guess, all right, Nipples, we apologize. I mean,
now start twisting.
Yeah, I mean, right now, they still have Sidney Brown is questionable. With Jalen Carter, Justin Evans, and Darius Slay out, as well as Quez Watkins, which whatever on that one.
They just cut him.
But my point is Steve saying that's the NFL's version of load management. Maybe. I would have.
Maybe they're feeling that confident.
I mean, I guess they don't want to play games with Jalen Carter and this team. Would you really want him to go hurt his ankle further against the Jets? I mean, seriously, you're up 5-0 already. I mean, I know we want to go 6-0, but I mean,
listen, they're going to go 6-0.
Not that you don't have Josh Sweat on there and Milton.
I'll tell you what,
Williams and a lot of other guys who could.
The only place I'm concerned about today is one. I feel like they're going to. Kind of target our middle of the field a little bit. Ty Conklin for the Jets has been having really good weeks the last couple weeks of getting open. and everything. That could be a problem, especially with Nakobe Dean coming back.
Do you think Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of targets?
I don't know. It all depends because
The Wilson connection.
He might get a lot of targets, but I mean, he's probably their best wide receiver. I mean,
so they're going to focus on him, trying to shut him down.
The one that's probably going to be the matchup of the day is probably going to be Bradbury against, or not Bradbury, Roby against Lazard. Will probably be, but they keep saying Roby's going to play the slot. So if he's playing the slot, I wonder who's playing corner. Sidney Brown is also going to be suited up for the Birds today as well. I look forward to him getting some snaps at safety. I really do, because Tremaine Edmonds is just not cutting it for my liking. I don't. But here's what I know about the Jets. If you contain Breece Hall, you're going to have to make Zach Wilson beat you. And Zach Wilson's becoming more and more comfortable in that Nathaniel Hackett offense. So you got to be able to get to him. And this is what I feel. I feel like the defensive line can get to Zach Wilson today and make his life miserable. That I do believe. Like, I would not be surprised if this is a 5-sack game for the defense.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
with Jalen Carter out, it probably could have been 5 more.
Maybe. I mean, but you still got Jordan Davis in there. You still got Milton Williams. Like you said, you still got our DEs. Hassan Reddick's probably going to have a field day today. You know, and Robert Saleh said something during the week, too. And Antonio says, fire Belichick. Raiders 31, Pats 10.
My God.
Wow.
Well, man,
this guy is more hard on his Boston teams than I am with the Philadelphia team.
Well, it's funny because it's not funny, but the one saving grace for Bill Belichick is that he always has a good defense. You're getting blown out every game. Like, every game. It's not even close.
Dude, they gave up 34 to the Saints last week.
They gave up 30 to Dallas. They've given up a lot. It's I can understand. Like, I actually asked somebody earlier this year, is Bill Belichick on the hot seat finally this year?
The Jets D isn't that bad, Anthony, but they're also dealing with injuries on that defensive front and also on their defensive their secondary as well. No Sauce Gardner today, and like I said, no DJ Reed. That's going to be a concern for them because who are they going to stop? I mean, you might see.
So, Mike, you're not worried about, because they come in a little momentum, beating the Broncos. The Broncos.
Everybody beats the Broncos. Yeah. So, I mean, like, the Broncos are just a stepping stone in the NFL. So
that's all Mac W, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Good for them. But I think the Jets will give it. I think it's going to be a closer game than what people say. But the Birds are setting up for.
I don't know what he means by this. In my opinion, the Birds are setting the team up for games 9 through 13.
Weeks 9 through 13, that rough stretch. Which, by the way, if you're looking at it right now, is not so rough.
Buffalo hasn't been Buffalo.
No, and Buffalo beat. Listen, they beat up on Miami, but that was at home. Buffalo goes on the road. Look what happened last week. They went on the road last week, and they got smacked around when they went to London to play them. I mean, I think.
Wow, Brad, you are just you're all.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I can see like 27. I can see 27-13, something like that.
Listen, no Sauce Gardner and is big, but I don't think they had a chance against Brown and Smith and all that to begin with. But having no Sauce Gardner,
or DJ Reed. DJ Reed's a good cornerback too.
Yeah.
I mean, so. But my only thing is, we can really kind of keep it close, and I'm being serious. Is if Ty Conklin can have a huge game for them today, like if you're going to take a prop bet today, whatever Ty Conklin's yardage is, take the over in the yardage, because the Eagles haven't been great against tight ends, and that dude's been Zach Wilson's one of his favorite targets. As far as Garrett Wilson goes, again, I think he's going to be locked up on Bradbury. So we just have to wait and see what goes on there. But the key to stopping the Jets is you got to stop their running game, which is you stop Breece Hall, you stop Dalvin Cook, you stop Mike Hart.
Right, and
you stop them three, man.
And it's going to be a problem for Zach Wilson. I mean, he's going to have a.
That's the only way that they're going to be able to keep Zach upright today, because if not, the Eagles were just going to pin their ears back and go. Now, Robert Saleh made a thing about. I don't know if you saw the comments. They were talking about the brotherly shove, and he said, "Well, don't worry." He said, "I let my defense know that we got to put 11 kisses on them legally."
Right.
So,
Well,
and that kind of made its way around the Eagles locker room.
And that's crazy. You look, we talked about last week, we're talking about maybe this could be the first L of the Birds. And no, again, and I, just like I alluded to you on the your post-game show last week, I said to the Birds, Brian Johnson's playbook.
I said, hello, Birds.
I said, hello, Birds. The Brian Johnson playbook has been getting better, especially under pressure. I mean, Jalen, and I don't know.
Do you think it was just
him or a little bit of mixture of both? I mean, Jalen Hurts is making great decisions. I mean, throwing the ball.
Think about something.
Or he's find the right holes again. What do you have? 15 carries for 72 yards and for a touchdown, and every
every yards passing, right?
the push was he converted it on every one.
Well, they've converted on all of them except for one so far this year on that. But you got to take a look at something, and this is where this Eagles team is scary. And I think now some of the heads of the NFL are starting to look around because, the 49ers are playing great. They have a great team. But if you look at it, the only team that we can really kind of, I guess, base off of the two teams was they both played the Rams in LA. And if you look at the game, that Eagle, what's up, Ryan?
Ryan, you checked in the wrong
What's
show.
up, Ryan?
There's no gentleman here.
Yes.
But I look at it this way. Like, if you look at the two games, like, the scores were very similar, except, believe it or not, the 49ers actually gave up more points to the Rams. But that's also a divisional game. Buffalo oozing deep. Buffalo's also losing defensive players left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Milano just went out for the year. Swoop stand, follow me.
Swoop stands following me, laugh out loud.
Oh, I guess.
All right.
I don't know if he was trying to read. Oh, they must know each other.
They're going back and forth in the comments.
That's awesome. What's up, Wayne? But yeah, I'm looking at it right now, man. I definitely think going into today's game, I love that picture, by the way, with the young Eagle fan punching the Cowboys fan. That was funny as hell. I do. I like the Birds. I really do. I think this could be another game for DeAndre Swift late in the game. I think like second half, like mid-second half. I can see him starting to run against that Jets defense.
Run wild?
I think they're going to get pounded all game. They're going to get beat with the pass all game by the time that, I think the Eagles are going to throw a lot today in the first half. You're going to see a lot of throwing in the first half, a lot of running in the second half.
What about you, Al? How are you feeling about today's game?
I mean, I think we should feel secure in the win. I think some people are right. I think they're looking at the long haul coming against us. I mean, also saving some of these guys for next week's game because that Dolphins game is going to be no slouch game. I definitely don't think the Eagles lose today. I hope they don't play down to the Jets, which they haven't done since Jalen Hurts has been at the helm. So I'm going to give them credit on that because last year that's what I was waiting for is one extra loss, is that letdown loss that we all know, like that one that you shouldn't lose a game to. Now Washington kind of was.
So it's the Saints. Game. I felt too. I felt that Saints game too.
Again, Jalen Hurts
wasn't the quarterback though. Yeah. That was Minshew.
Yeah. So my point is, I think they win. They win easily. They're going to try to run the ball on us, even without Jalen Carter. Not worried about that at all. They're not going to be able to stop our offensive weapons. I'm going to go big. Devonta Smith there. He's due.
He is due for
Devonta Smith game. Ryan's going 2017. He has got a much closer game than anybody else does. Wayne's saying 31-13.
Wow.
So
I'm liking.
I want to know why Ryan thinks it's going to be such a close game. I would like to hear what he has to say. We'll see. We're getting to the end of it, but we'll give him a moment to chime in. But I would like to know.
So where do you got him, Pat?
I think it's going to be a 27-14 blowout. I just can't see.
All right, so you're giving them one more point than I said 27-13. So we're kind of in the same area.
So you're getting them scoring. I don't think they score 14 points.
I think it's 27-13. I took 27-13.
I'm going 10. I'm going 9 or 12. It's going to be all field goals. I don't think they score a touchdown. I don't think the Jets score a touchdown. 9 or 12. So I'll give them 3 or 4 field goals. And the Eagles score 28-12. There's my final prediction.
Wow, that's a little different.
Yeah, 28-12.
So we're kind of giving them like the same go around. But I mean, let me ask you two guys a question.
It would be different if they had their starting secondary in there. because then you got two really good cornerbacks going up against two really good wide receivers. It kind of cancels it out, where the Eagles may have to go other places. With these guys being out, man, I think the Eagles are going to be able to throw the ball at will.
Well, let me ask you guys too. I mean, since week one, ever since the rust has gotten shake off, and where we're at now, what do you guys think? Is it the playbook has been better from Brian Johnson or the Eagles? Wow,
Anthony's saying 42. Dude, if they put up 42 points, I'd be scared.
I don't think Anthony. I
think they could put up 42 points if they're clicking on all cylinders and this defense is just overwhelmed. But Anthony should just wrote the letters PAIN in there and called it a day.
Yeah,
on that one. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Pat.
No, my question to you guys: do you think it's since week one till now, has the playbook been better, or Jalen Hurts have been better, or a little bit?
I think it's both.
They're both learning off each other. I mean, that's the thing we have to keep understanding is both teams are learning off each other.
Yeah,
both parts. I'm saying are learning off each other. They're working each other out. They're filling each other out. I think we can't judge our new coordinators in the first half of the season. We really can. I mean, you can judge them. You hopefully, as each game progresses, they learn. I'm giving them both.
A little bit of both.
They're learning to dance together. Here,
that's why I said this is scary because the Birds' pace defense is horrific outside for pass rush and sacks. This team can't defend. It's our front four pass rush and sacks.
I don't think our Birds' pass defense is as bad. I mean,
they shut down Nakua and Kupp in the second half last week.
Kupp got his yardage,
but it was all in the first half.
But also, he was able to. I go back. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Justin Jefferson. What happened last year against Justin Jefferson will never happen again. Yeah, A, he was a year younger, and B, he is just the prolific wide receivers. These guys are Jefferson, Akua, and Kupp are top.
Well, Akua is a rookie, but
still top wide receivers in right now outside the injury now to Jefferson in the NFL, and they kept them to 14 points. I mean, it's not as bad, but at the same time,
I mean, Nakua had some nice ones too. I mean, but I look at it this way: I see the defense getting better because we were getting crushed by the tight end, and like Tyler Higbee was damn near invincible last week, and he's one of the best tight ends probably in the league.
But like you both guys just said, okay, Matthew Stafford had both, not one but two. You got Kupp coming off an injury, so you had two fresh, wide out weapons, and the Eagles' defense held them to 14 points. That's impressive.
I mean, dude, they got their young. Jets D is not going to stop Smith, Brown, and even Goddard, and the Jets don't have an O-line to block the Eagles' D-line or linebackers. Yeah, Anthony's got a point there. No, they kissed perfectly thrown passes to them.
They kissed perfectly thrown passes to them.
Birds didn't break up. They missed two throws. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because they got them off their. Here's my thing is, and I understand what they're saying. They didn't jump up and they didn't break up the ball, but because they
got to him early, they made him throw 20 yards over their head.
Yeah, I mean, he had errant throws. He had to throw the ball early. I mean,
there was one that I'll agree with Ryan on.
Yeah.
Like, he overthrew Nakua, and if he hits him in stride, it's 7.
All right.
But other than that,
that's football.
That's football. That's a game of inches, right?
If ands and buts and all that stuff. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts every day would be Christmas. I mean, that's the saying for a reason.
Oh God, Pat's gonna go home and put. Never
he
mind.
heard butts and candy in the same sentence.
Yes,
he's putting that sock back in his pants.
Butts, nuts, mouth.
Eagles have only allowed 110 yards to tight ends all season. Yep.
Yeah. So, so what's your final prediction? Well, we gave our final prediction. Mike, what your time? You're ready to whip it out?
Yeah.
Your predictions?
My 6-pack for today.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to remind me. We got to work on a
theme
intro for that.
All right.
Mike Sixers.
No, Mike 6-pack here. I'm going to go with the game tomorrow night. I am going with the LA Chargers at home, getting 1.5 over those Dallas Cowboys. Kellen Moore gets his revenge against his old team.
Wow.
I have the Chargers winning in 3.
And the only reason why I'm saying that is because if there's a bigger buffoon than Brandon Staley, it's Mike McCarthy. And they have Dak at quarterback, so I look at it like this. So I'm going to take them plus the 1.5. The Chargers are getting 1.5 at home. Take that all day long. The Detroit Lions today, -3. I'm loving that. I'm jumping all over that today. Also, the Los Angeles Rams, they're playing the Arizona Cardinals. They're -1.5 touchdowns. They are at home. I took the Rams.
Okay.
I took the Atlanta Falcons, -2.5. For some odd reason, Desmond Ridder does not lose at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. He's been clutch there all year. I think they get the job done against those Washington Commanders. So I'm taking Atlanta -2.5. My Stone Cold Lead Pipe lock of the day, I am taking the San Francisco 49ers -9.5 in Cleveland over the dog pound. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson. Not going to play today. It's Dorian Green back on. That defense is going to feast on that kid.
I remember him.
Yeah, he played for or not. No, I'm sorry, Thompson, Green Thompson.
I was going to say
Green Thompson. He's a quarterback out of UCLA. So, and for my sixth and final one, I am taking our Philadelphia Eagles -6.5 over those New York Football Jets. It would make it 13 in a row. So there's my six-pack. Write them all down. I'll let you know. Going into last week, who took a beating last week
All right.
there. So,
Mike, what's the game to watch today? Other than the Birds and Jets, obviously. What's the game of the week?
believe it or not, they're actually going to show. We are not getting a 1:00 game. I think we are getting a 1:00 game. Our Fox is going to be carrying the Niners and the Browns. So you could be watching that one or Detroit and I'm trying to remember who the hell Detroit's playing. I got to write down who they're playing from now on because I always do that.
So you got the Browns and the Niners being your game of the week. Al, who do you got?
my game of the week. That's not the Eagles.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wasn't ready for that. You didn't tell me. To watch or just the thing?
Just to watch.
Stone Cold. Oh well, then, the Lions and the Bucks. You got two teams. Is a good one. You got two teams.
That's what it is, Lions and Bucks.
And the Dallas. I would say Dallas and Chargers game.
How about tonight? Giants Buffalo in Buffalo.
Is that really a game to watch?
To watch the Giants get smoked, yeah.
I'm just talking about like a fun game to watch because it really is a kind of lopsided.
Colts Jaguars,
Seahawks and Bengals.
I was looking at Colts and Jaguars.
Colts Jaguars, they're 1:00.
I'm looking at Seattle and the Bengals.
Yeah, but I mean the Cowboys Charger game is one everybody's going to be staring at because.
Except for us, because we'll be in the midst of watching our Phils in the postseason.
Well, you're going to keep your eye on the. You're going to keep your eye on the. You're going to keep your eye on the score just to look at it. But I honestly think, and it's not me being a homer, I think the Cowboys lose by 3. I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout.
Kellen Moore, man, you don't think he's not amped? They fired him. He's going to have that team ready to play.
Ever since McCarthy took over the play calling, everything's that Texas Coast offense.
Would you say Texas Toast offense?
Yeah, Texas Toast. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Texas Toast offense.
All right,
I feel bad for that defense though, because they got one hell of a defense. The Cowboys do. They really do.
Oh yeah,
they really do. And it just my heart bleeds for them.
Detroit playing themselves.
Well,
I guess because I said I didn't remember who they were playing.
Right now, Ravens versus.
Ravens and Titans.
Oh,
yeah, wake me up when that's over.
Yeah,
snooze fast. But I'm looking at Seattle, the Bengals. I think Seattle wins it. But then again, like you said, I also want to watch the Colts and Jaguars too. I want to see Dougie P get another dub. So,
Gardner Minshew starting for Gardner Minshew.
26-4.
Yeah,
wow.
They get 2 safeties.
They're going to get 2 safeties on us?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to laugh and roll out of the end zone.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, one more bit of news. Mike.
Yeah.
The orange and black are back.
Yeah.
The Flyers.
No, I got to reel you in already.
Yeah, well, listen.
Mike, otherwise, the season's over. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's like that.
They won their first game. He's going to have the Stanley Cup rose already.
Here we go. I swear. You ever see the Dr. Pepper commercial? We're all going nuts with the college football. And Brian Bosworth's like, dude, it's only the first play. Oh, yeah. That's Pat. That's Pat. Right there.
Flyers win big time against going to Columbus Blue Jackets, winning 4-2. But however, yesterday, as I quoted in my article, the growing pains because this team is freshly young and they are going to learn. You're going against a top 10 penalty kill team, and they got not one but two guys who are veteran players that know how to win, and their roles now are to facilitate and make the other legs look good. Is one Giroux, and one guy Mike that you and I wanted is one Tarasenko. He had 2 assists yesterday. Drew had 2 assists. Just picked apart this team. Jacob Chakron and Brady Kudrock had 2 goals yesterday. And, Jake Anderson. So what I saw yesterday, Tarasenko he was looking really good. Again, this is who we want to see in orange and black, sending guys up on the penalty. And, they had their ways with the Flyers. Flyers obviously had they got a goal for Travis Konecny. Travis Konecny actually having a decent year. So, I know it's very, very young. The 5-on-3, the 2-man disadvantage the Flyers got on. But after that, it kind of got cold. I mean, Cam York found a sleeping Eitan Forsberg. No relations to Peter Forsberg, but caught him sleeping, and after that, it was just all Santa Hour. So, Mike, what can you take from the past 2 days from this Flyers team?
They're 500. That's what I take from it. They're 500. Then, you know what? If you told me in the beginning of the year, or we discussed like 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, the Flyers are going to be a 500 team, you'd sign on for it, because that means it's progress compared to where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, there's going to be chrome paints. Like there's some 6-0 games that we're going to have coming, maybe some 8-1s that we're going to see in the formidable future. But I like what I'm saying. You're seeing Travis Konecny get off to a great hot start. The goaltending's been okay. I mean, Hart was good the other night. So who played yesterday? Was that Erickson that played yesterday, or was it Hart that played yesterday?
Hart yesterday.
Hart. So I mean, he kind of had a bounce. He had an up and down game yesterday.
They just got, like you said, this is growing pains. You got some veteran. You got Mark Stahl. We all know he's an old time veteran. You got Couturier, who's now, I would say, the leader of this team. Behind closed door, he's been here the longest center Flyer.
Yeah, they won't pick a captain, but
no. But I mean,
if there is one, it's Couturier.
Travis Konecny, like you said, is off to a hot start. So I think we've learned a lot from this Flyer scene, again, in a small sample size. You're going to, like you said,
they are who they are.
They are who they are. They're going to take some punches. But, if they could go back to how they played on Thursday, again, even John Tortorella is still trying to figure this team out of lineups and stuff. Again, they had Bobby Brink in the lineup, but however, switched things up, and then they put Tyson Forster in, just trying to get more of an offensive game going. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. Again, and this, again,
it's too early to tell.
It's too early. Again, they got slapped in the face by Carolina, and then yesterday was their first ever, their first home game. So of course they wouldn't look good in front of the crowd. And again, even though he's an aging player, but Tarasenko, he's there for a reason. He's making these young cats play well.
He's a sniper.
He is a sniper,
but he will be playing somewhere else come playoff time.
You think that by February he'll be traded?
Oh yeah,
he'll
be going to a contender. He only signed a 1-year deal to go up there. So when you're on a 1-year deal, you're there to play hockey and then get moved.
You're right.
So Ryan said the Flyers will have 5 more points.
Wow, Ryan's feeling. Ryan, you have your orange and black sunglasses on. I like it. You're more optimistic.
5 points, dude. Like you're talking about another win or two.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm hoping they could be a sneaky good, hockey team. That's I'm hoping.
Carter Hart has no protection. Not right now. I mean,
no, I agree. He has no protection. Again, this is a young defense with a handful of veteran players.
I'm gonna nip back on this one. He said Hart is blamed too much. I'm sorry. He's let up some really, really questionable goals over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to even sit there and say, Mike, this is the same guy who told me and Gus last week that we should be worried about Atlanta teams. Oh, I know. I don't listen. I take what Pat says with a grain of salt because
I had my problems with Austin and Gus on Thursday.
I know
a lot of problems with people in general.
Yeah. Well, I fear Atlanta teams apparently.
You do. Atlanta, L.A.
Yeah, all over the place.
I know. I just think you like being in a tent with Captain Dave there.
For all the reasons, though.
Wow.
You all right? We're good buddies.
What do we have for what's our meal of the day today? Al?
For the first 15
smoked sausage. So.
What did Ryan say for the first 15 takes?
For the first 15 takes, he'll be rotating big.
Frank and Forrester.
Then send one of them down. I think it means first 15 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, we'll see what the Flyers do. However, Tuesday is going to be a busy day. We all know if you are going to a Phillies game, maybe you're going to see if you're going to Link to see Germany take on Mexico in a soccer matchup, or you're going to the Flyers home opener. They did move up the time to 6 p.m. So if anyone didn't get the news,
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, they moved up the time. So again, one former Flyer is coming into town. Rick Tocchet with his brand new team. He's 2-0 with this Vancouver Canucks team, and Mike and Alice Patterson. Jack Hughes' brother, Quinn Hughes. This team has a lot of guys making assists. What can we take about this? A young Vancouver team coming in.
Well,
coached by one Rick Tocchet.
Well, they're going to be well coached. They're going to be playing well. So, I mean, I don't know. We don't really see enough West Coast teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you got a hockey package and you're watching it all the time.
I got a package. Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Flyers can, like I said, learn a curve, a bump in the road. They can figure some things out. They get a big dub tomorrow. Mike, are you feeling a big dub for Tuesday for the Flyers?
Home opener, yeah. I think the Flyers win the home opener. They usually play pretty good in front of the home crowd, and
even when they were bad, they had the first 10 games of the season.
Their October is
their
really
October is good, and it's not there's no light on them right now. Phillies in the postseason, Eagles playing really well. Nobody cares about the Sixers.
Yeah. So but like I said, we'll see what happens. So guys,
quick update, real quick. 9-3 Ravens over the Titans with about just under 9 minutes to go in the first half. 9-3 Ravens.
So what you're trying to tell me is it's just a barn burner.
It's a cosmic barn burner over there in England.
Is it Germany or England this time?
I have no idea.
Couple things real fast, guys. For all you Edge of Philly sports fans, we have the pregame with Austin and Dives. The post
and LJ
and LJ
Kelly Green on there too.
Okay, nice.
I didn't have a graphic this week, guys. I'm sorry, it's been a hell of a weekend.
Yes, we do have a halftime show usually with Shane and Dives, and then the post game with me and Austin
and Dives.
So all three. Oh, yes!
I just got confirmation
in the Divester. Yeah,
so it'll be 3 of you guys.
Oh, what a jacuzzi! So then, of course, tonight at 9 p.m. we have all across all the time. So
double G, double M,
double S, double M. Yeah, we got that squad coming in. So all you guys want to talk lacrosse, go catch up with them. And then, of course, Mike, 4 o'clock, my favorite time slot of a football stature. What is your meal of the day?
I think I'm doing chili dogs today.
Chili dogs.
Oh, no, that's a good
beef. What goes
beef.
on those chili dogs besides chili?
I usually put like jalapenos, fresh jalapenos.
All right.
Hold
on.
I like mine a little hot. I don't do onions too. I'm allergic to onions, so I can't.
I love diced onions.
Also, sometimes you can do like diced tomatoes.
Okay.
Also with it.
Yeah.
So I like to
cheese or no cheese.
Oh, you got to go with the cheese.
Trying cheese though.
Oh, the Mexican blend.
That's a good one too, and also
Monterey
sharp
Jack
cheddar, like the slice to let it melt over the top. It's good. Go ahead, Pat. What do you got?
Pat's having pasta.
Yeah, pasta.
No. I'm out on.
I'm gonna throw a curveball. Ravioli.
No, I'm out on pasta. I've had pasta for 4 straight days now. I've had it. I lived it. So I think we're gonna do maybe some mac and cheese and some chicken.
Chicken
and mac and cheese, like grilled chicken.
Yeah. Oh,
never go wrong with grilled chicken.
No, not at all. I like I said, I'm all pasted out.
It's funny. I had an idea what I was going to do for dinner, and then Mike might have just changed my mind.
You going to do chili dogs?
Yo,
I'm telling you, I
might stop because I like to get the Dietz and Watson all beef ones, the bigger
ones,
or the ballpark ones, whatever they have.
My wife got these. What the hell? It's
a weird German sounding name, right?
Yeah, but
they're huge.
Yes, they're
the best.
They're
so good.
The beef be frank. So she got like
but they're gigantic, right?
Yeah, but they're like
girthy.
Yeah, real girthy. Yeah.
Thick
Like even you would have
thick around the edges.
Yeah, even you would have trouble swallowing
That'll
two
be
of
on
these
my
things.
tombstone. Stick around the edges.
Well, guys, this is going off the rails. So, for Al Safiri, Pat Bedard, I am Mike Lowe. Guys, join us next week. We'll see you then.